This video is sponsored by Tokyo Treat.
Alright, it's here. The most hyped chapter that we've had in a very long time. And yes, Luffy's fruit is revealed in this chapter, and it's not the resin fruit. It's not the oil fruit. It's something much different. Let's get into it. Title of the chapter is Liberation Warrior. Some of Luffy's allies, Sanji, Kid, Law, Hyogoro, and Marco, feel his presence and that he is still alive. Conversation of the Gorosei in the castle of Marijois. The government has always tried to get the Gomu Gomu no Mi, but they have not been able to do it in 800 years. It seems as if that devil fruit ran away from them. A member of the Gorosei says that he is not crazy, since the Zoan fruits have a mind of their own. The Gorosei says that the Gomu Gomu no Mi is actually a Zoan type fruit, and that its real name is the Hito Hito no Mi, human fruit, mythological model Nika. So, that's it. And yeah, I know. What? I know for weeks I've been talking about it being like a resin or an oil fruit based off of the punnery and the numbers of the chapters and how that translates from Japanese, but no, it's actually a mythical Zoan. And I'm pleasantly surprised, to be honest. Believe it or not, I like to be surprised, especially when I think it's a good subversion here, and this is pretty good one. And we have seen stuff like this before. I mean, we saw that Sengoku's fruit was just as bizarre as this, right? He had the human fruit, the Buddha model. So why not have the Nika one as well? But it's just so interesting that like it needs to be awakened, that when you just initially eat it, you're basically just like a rubber man. Before we get into that, let's talk about today's sponsor, Tokyo Treat.
With Tokyo Treat, you'll get up to 20 of the latest, most exclusive, limited edition, and seasonal flavored Japanese snacks that are only available in Japan and for a limited time, like Sakura Pepsi, Japanese sake, Kit Kats, and many more. This month's box is Sakura themed and contain many Sakura flavored snacks. But act fast, because a lot of these snacks are limited edition and only available in Japan for this month.
This thing is loaded. Like right off the bat, there is a ridiculous amount of stuff that comes in here.
It also comes with this nifty little booklet that explains everything you're going to be getting in the box, as well as just little factoids about Japan.
So if you're watching this video, you definitely know what Pocky is. But I'm sure you don't know about all the exclusive Japanese Pocky, like this heart-filled cherry flavor. That tastes like a condensed version of a toaster pastry that I'm sure we're all familiar with in the States, but even better than that. This is Yogurt Rush White and Yellow Peach. Also got my little Sakura cup. That's a unique experience. Look, all of us anime fans know about the special Japanese Kit Kats, and this month they're peach flavored. So I don't even really like peach flavored stuff like that, but this is just fantastic. So guys, please check out Tokyo Treat. I have an affiliate link in the description, and of course you'll be helping your boy out. But of course I'll give you more incentive because I have this code right here that's gonna give you $5 off. So thanks again, guys. And this further makes sense because we were talking about it having like some kind of fire property to it. Because, you know, Sun God Nika, we saw like his hair was a flame. And there was a possibility that, I don't know, the resin heats up or something. But no, it's just he has fire powers now on top of, I guess, his rubber powers. I don't know if it's still exactly explained in this chapter if he does have like rubber abilities or if it's actually oil or resin. When we go further into these spoilers, it is going to say rubber, but I don't know if it says that in the chapter. I just wanted to put that out there because I'm just not entirely sure myself. But going back to me saying that it makes sense because of its fire properties is because one of the leading theories on what Emu's fruit could be is also a mythical type fruit, which is like the mermaid fruit or something like that, and it essentially gives her like water power. Emu can like manipulate the water, and I think that's like why people might have a weakness to the water from the devil fruits, because she like manipulated the ocean. And also like the jewel ice sheet where Chinjiao was keeping his treasure, like when it breaks it like forms back together. I think that's also a direct result of Emu's fruit, because that's where she put like all of the dead ancient giants possibly. And the story also boils down to Joy Boy versus Emu, you know, sun versus the moon, fire versus water. So as for what Luffy looks like in this form, he looks like Snake Man, kind of. I mean, he has like the fiery, sun god Nika hair. Like his head looks like this Street Fighter cosplay that Oda did a couple months ago. He has like the smoky thing around his shoulders and arms, but his eyes are different now. They kind of resemble like the emu eyes, Zunisha, Hakuba, Mihawk. Now, I don't know if it is actually them, but it kind of resembles them. And if that is the case, then that blows my theory out of the water of those eyes being a result of the perpetual youth surgery. And if it is the case, then I have no idea what these eyes mean. It's like as we get all of these answers, just even more questions arise, which I'm a fan of. But going back to the Gorosei talking about this and how they weren't able to get the fruit and how it ran away from them. At this point, we do know the story. They did have the fruit at one point. Like Who's Who had it when he was in Cypher Pole. But then Shanks' crew stole it from his ship, and then it eventually found its way to Luffy eating it. So I don't think it's a coincidence at this point. Shanks must have known that this was the Nika fruit. And if that is the case, then how did he gain that information? Because we know that he didn't go to Laugh Tale. So did somebody tell him after the fact? Because Roger did talk to him before he died. But I don't know if like he told him like, hey, the Nika fruit, like if this information was made available on Laugh Tale, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, then I guess Rayleigh could have said something, or somebody else who was there could have told him. I'm not really sure. But this also makes me think that since Shanks talked to the Gorosei like before Wano started, was he talking to them about Luffy? Was he like, hey guys, by the way, like I got the rubber fruit, but then this little kid ate it by mistake, and that kid was Luffy. He like might awaken his fruit and become Joy Boy again. And if that is the case, then why would Shanks do that? It's heavily implied that Shanks is a celestial dragon, of course, but I assume that he was just a full-blown defector, because I'm assuming Roger raised him from birth because he found him as a baby at the Battle of God Valley. So I would like to think that he was talking to them about Blackbeard, but it would be an awesome twist if he was talking to them about Luffy. But then it's like, you're double-crossing Luffy. And then it's like, wait, is Shanks actually not such a good guy? I think that would be cool too. But let's go further. In the chapter, we also see a part of Hiyori and Orochi. Luffy has awakened the fruit from him, and now he feels that he is fully. It's his Gear 5. All right, that's another surprise. I did not expect him to use Gear 5 here. I thought this was just going to be like the awakening and that was it. Kind of like how Law and Kid were doing. And I thought if Gear 5 was coming, that was going to be after this, like what he was going to use to be able to defeat Blackbeard or Emu or whatever. But no, we're in Gear 5 era now. Luffy versus Kaido. Luffy grabs Kaido from the roof and takes him upstairs and attacks him in a savage way. Whoa, so is he like reaching all the way down and then just like pulling Kaido up? Because we saw in the previous chapter that he had like come down and was like, all right, who else wants it? So he's just like, nope. Luffy grabs the ground and transforms it into rubber to return a bolo breath to Kaido. Oh, wow. So Kaido's like shooting a bolo breath at him, but Luffy's like using the awakened fruit abilities and just pulling the ground up like this and like deflecting the blast back at Kaido. And I guess that's where the chapter ends. And this is like where the beatdown begins, I'm assuming. And yeah, the hype is so real. And I just can't wait to see how Kaido reacts to this when he finally acknowledges that Luffy is Joy Boy. I wonder if he'll like eventually just bend the knee. I mean, I don't think Luffy will allow Kaido to join him. And as I said in previous videos, Kaido has to kind of die, or at least just have an awful fate. So, wow. I'm just as excited and dumbfounded as most of you. I'm sure some of you knew that this was coming. If you did know that this was going to be a mythical Nika fruit, then you did it. But yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comments. And if you liked the video, guys, please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.